What's up, y'all? Y'all know who it is. Your boy JP here, man. And we over here in the Grand Marquis. We got the 1610s in the back. And if we want this car to be anywhere near show ready for this season, we're going to have to start doing stuff. So today, we're going to go ahead and wire up all the subs, get the wires ran to the back. But in order for us to do that, we need to take all the subs out of the enclosure first, because there is some things that we got to address. If this is your first time here, we got 1997 Mercury Grand Marquis, and up under all of this beautiful tan bed liner that's matching my interior is a whole lot of steel cage tubing. We have 9 braces inside the box that's mounting that box to the floor. We got 4 braces that painted the same color as the outside of the car that's mounting the box to the roof. We also got a stripper pole brace right here in the middle, and that's going to help all this mud work not crack while I'm out there basing and demoing the car at the car show. But the problem with having metal braces is the fact that there's a resonating tone on the metal. Now granted, there's going to be nothing that's going to be hitting these, but while the bass is going on and we have all that pressure inside the box, I don't want any type of resonating tones. I'm not going to touch these braces that's actually being shown because I got those painted to match the outside of the car for the aesthetic. But there is some steel poles that's on the inside of the box, and there's also some welded steel plates on the inside of the box that may resonate, and I don't want to take the chance. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to deaden that. So what I was thinking is I could get some of that sound deadener like your Dynamac, your Second Skin Amplifier Pro, which is what I would probably end up using, and I could just wrap all the poles that's on the inside. So what I did is I called my good friend Eric over there at Second Skin, and he hooked me up with this, the Second Skin Spectrum. It is a noise and vibration coating, basically liquid sound deadener. Now you can roll this stuff on, but it said for the best coverage as possible, you need to go ahead and spray it with a spray gun, kind of like what you would use to spray bed liner. It's going to come out in 1 millimeter thickness, and we need about 2 to 3 coats in order to get the best performance. So before we start go ahead and really deep diving into this stuff right here, we need to go ahead and get these subs out. All right, so the thing about taking these subs out is that we have to about strategically take them out. The reason being is because these subs are flushed in at the top right behind the bottom sub. But on that bottom sub, we don't got no space to take this sub out. We need a right angle drill in order to take this in. Could take out this bottom loading wall, but then that's like 50 of these little bolts that we got to take out. But I'm really not trying to do all that. We're gonna see right now if this works. So we should be able to let's see. Okay, so here we go. We got it. Let's see how close this is. Literally I don't know, man. I don't like that. I don't like that at all, man. It's one of the things that kind of make you think, was that kind of like a design flaw, or maybe we didn't really think that much into it as far as like how we gonna change subs out. Because what if one of these subs get blown? I'm gonna have to go through a whole lot. It better not ever be the ones in the front, because it's gonna take me so long. Or maybe they had the seats out and they had this loading wall. The loading wall wasn't even thought about at the time, and then it was going to be easy to take them out then, but now it's not. I don't know. Either way, I guess it's going to be a little challenge for me. That's just too close. I don't like that. So I'm thinking we either need to take the seat out, or I need to take these top 2 subs out. Yeah, probably need to take the seat out, because it seems like I can kind of do one of these. Still too close for my liking, but I don't know. Let's go ahead and take the seat out. Man, I ain't want to do that. Seat's out. Let's see. Oh, okay. That wasn't that bad. But if anything was to happen to where we was trying to swap subs out, like maybe I'm at a car show and then there's a sub that gets blown, if it's one of those top ones, I'm going to have to take the bottom sub out, and I'm going to have to take the front seat out just in order to get the ones at the top out, which is still just too much of an inconvenience. So what that means is when we get this thing wired up and the amps dialed in, it's going to have to be extremely tuned, and we're just going to have to be careful till we find the limits and never push them limits. I can't even get a freaking drill bit into that side. That part is probably not. I'm gonna have to. That's probably not gonna end up having anything on it. Jesus. I'm not liking this, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. One of these subs ever blow, I'm gonna be pissed. 2 down, 14 more to go. Wow. Whoo. It was just stuck. since this, for whatever reason, is painted like a high gloss or whatever, these subs are stuck inside the little wood baffle. The problem with that is that I got to get in here and push from the back side in order to get it out, because you can't stick anything in here because it's too tight. Now, in the midst of me doing that, this got ripped off. That just fell out. Trying to pull the dang sub out, and this part hit on the back of this part coming down. When it shifted down, tore these off. Pretty sure it's a quick fix. I'm gonna call Tezla and see if they just can't give me some more of these, and then I'll just bolt these back on. But that's the I'm pissed, bro. I'm not happy about it. That's so scary, bro. Oh my goodness. But you see how close them terminals was? That's what popped off last time. And they didn't pop off this time. All right, so that's 8 down, 8 to go. That's what I don't want. Yes, there's not going to be anything in here that's going to be rattling around, that's going to be hitting these braces, but that is so much of a high pitch tone. I do not want that resonating while all that bass pressure is going down to the port and then coming out the top side. This right here is the reservoir. This is the complete spraying kit. They don't recommend that you actually use like a paint spray gun, because this stuff right here is going to get extremely thick, and you don't want that coming out of a small nozzle. You need something a little bit thick and wide like this. I was pouring it into the little reservoir. It was pouring out gray. Once it starts drying, it will get black once it finished drying. We're going to do 2 or 3 coats. You need at least 30 to 60 minutes in between coats, and we need to wash out the little gun between every coat. All right, so that's the first coat. We're gonna let that dry for about 30 minutes. Probably about 45, anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes, and we're gonna come back with coat number 2. I like the coverage though. It's fire. Super easy. Getting around the corners is a little tough, but y'all get the gist of it. Been about 45 minutes. It's definitely drying. It's not as dry as it could be, but they said we can reapply. I can definitely tell that this part is really dry. Nothing comes off of it. That part is still a little tacky, but they said we can reapply in this state. So let's go ahead and hit it with coat number 2. It's really dry right here. See that? It's really dry right there. All right, so that right there was coat number 2. I ain't gonna lie, I have some really good coverage, and like I said, once this thing gets done drying, it's gonna be 100% black. And I don't know, I think I may go ahead and do coat number 3 just to be on the safe side. We gotta wait one more cycle of about 30-45 minutes or something like that. Now real quick, they do so low. Okay, so this is a good time to go ahead and say that this is water based. So, and you got about 30 minutes to clean up if anything ever messes up. See, that just kind of wipes off right there. I'm gonna have to come back with some cloth and a rag with water. Should clean that up. So we'll get that cleaned up here in a second. There's still a lot that's inside here, so I don't think I actually need to refill. We got through 2 coats already. I'm thinking we got enough to actually do 3. Hold on real quick. Yeah, you guys can see down in there. Yeah, we got more than enough. Now I had this thing filled up to the top, and we're probably about maybe like right here, so a little bit under halfway, which is still pretty good. I do recommend that you remove this reservoir part and you actually rinse this out in between each coats, just in case something actually dries up on the inside of this little situation, and you don't have to worry about it sticking and being like that forever, and then it kind of messes up the spray. I got to keep it honest with y'all, I did not do that for the first coat or the second coat, and I don't think I'm gonna do it for the third. I just don't want to have to keep rinsing it out. I will make sure that after we wait this last 45 minutes and spray this third time, I will go ahead and give it a good deep cleaning just to make sure that we'll be able to use it again. But I'm a little hard hitter, so we're gonna try. All right, y'all, so that second coat, it's been roughly it's been an hour. You know what I'm saying? You can tell where there's thicker parts that's not dry or whatever. The thinner the layers are dry. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do 3 coats. They said they recommend 2 or 3. I'm gonna go ahead and do a third coat real quick. I'm not gonna record it. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it because it's just literally the same thing I've been doing. All right, and for the product that didn't get used, we're just gonna dump it right back into the bucket. Now this thing has a shelf life of 1 year, but as soon as you pop the top on it, you got about 30 days to go ahead and use it. So just kind of keep that in mind. 1 year shelf life. If you never open it, as soon as you open it, you got about 30 days to use it. So if you're thinking about whether you want to get the 5 gallon or the 1 gallon, make sure you keep that in mind. And the cleanup's super easy. Make sure you pour it in there, make sure it's coming out. Same thing for the spout. When we first sprayed it, it came out gray, and now it's black. Yep. All right, so let's see if we got a different tone. Oh yeah. That's almost like the wood. Or better yet, y'all hear the differences in these 2 tones right here. I say it worked pretty good. So right now it's just dry to the touch, but it won't actually be done curing from 24 to 48 hours. And then they said if you're gonna wrap it or do anything like that, you need to wait up to 7 days. We're not gonna do none of that. So what we're gonna do is we will let it sit for about 24 to 48 hours. That way it can be completely 100% dry. Then we're gonna start mounting the subs back in, getting everything wired up. So till then, I'm gonna probably start buying some more material and figure out how I want to wire up stuff. But as of right now, I'm extremely excited to get back working on this thing. I'm gonna do my best to get a show ready this year to where we can at least take it to some shows. If not playing and sounding good, at least showing it off. But till next time, this your boy JP signing out. If you guys don't want to miss the rest of this build, make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. Till next time, I hope everybody has a blessed day. Peace.